36 days out inside, some Democrats already teeing a lot more spending up. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto. And never mind, we haven't even gotten to the first debate. Some Democrats already laying out their spending plans for a second Obama term's first day. Vermont Democratic Congressman Peter Welch wants to get back to an energy policy that acknowledges that climate change is real. For now, he is leaving out the price tag to address it, which Republicans predict will be unreal. California Democrat Mike Honda wants to refocus on health care to expand on increasingly cost-based and state-based insurance exchanges. Arizona's Raul Grijalva favors a concerted push on immigration reform. Still others interpret any Obama win as a referendum for more stimulus to help the middle class. Good or bad, depending on your political point of view. More taxes, though, on the rich to help pay for it, regardless of your point of view. So get ready for it. They're already licking their financial chops planning for it. Never mind, you haven't even cast your vote. It seems a lot of politicians are already grabbing for your wallet. Not much talk about getting this debt under control. Lots of talk, though, about, as we say, getting the very spending that's helped get it out of debt and into debt out of control. An issue now that worries two former titans of the Senate, Democrat Sam Nunn and Republican Bob Bennett. Their bipartisan rant is coming up first to some worried post-election watchers right now. Fox News digital political editor Chris Steirold and townhall.com's Katie Pavlich. Chris, what are we to make about sort of these plans for a second Obama administration? Might or might not come to pass, but they're getting their spending priorities in order.
Well, look, Neil, the thing that the president is very clearly doing in this reelection campaign is being very vague. And while Democrats accuse Mitt Romney of being vague, the president has intentionally talked only in general about the need for infrastructure and other stimulus kind of spending and the need for what he says will be a tax increase on top earners to pay for it. But when you get down to specifics, you don't hear very much about what it would be. Part of the reason for that is that the president knows that there are a lot of people with their hands out. There are a lot of people with ideas for how that money ought to be spent. And one concern that he has, aside from frightening moderate voters with more spending, is creating this lineup at the trough for lawmakers from his own party that would be looking for the second term to be even more lavish than the first.
Do you think that will be the case, Katie?
I think it could be, but based on what these Democrats have already lined up in terms of what they want for a second Obama term, it just seems a little bit out of touch because, as we know, more spending when you're spending outside of your means, we have $16 trillion in debt, just means the expansion of government. And poll after poll shows that the American people and American voters are concerned about how big the federal government has been getting. And I hear a lot of repeats in what they're asking for. President Obama may not be, implementing a environmental policy that's directly geared towards climate change, but you look at the EPA's policies under President Obama, and they're geared towards addressing climate change in terms of regulations on coal mines. And in terms of immigration reform, we've seen President Obama work on the DREAM Act, and we just saw his executive order that was very similar to that piece of legislation. So it's kind of a repeat of what we've already seen, and I would say a little bit out of touch with what people are concerned about right now.
I wonder, Chris, if it's part of this, the perceived victors already claiming their spoils. I suppose if Mitt Romney were the runaway favorite right now and you're in the defense establishment, you are seizing on keeping open those facilities and military contractor jobs that could be imperiled as a result of even automatic sequestration. So are we just seeing something we always see? It's just more obvious now, or what?
Well, I certainly think there's truth in that. And on the Republican side, Neil, what you'd expect right now would be a lot of calls for Romney to move right and position himself so that there would be cuts and that there would be things like that. You might hear social issues crop up. But I think for the president, what this is, we saw a poll today that was conducted for The Hill that said that 87% of Democrats are confident that the president is going to win. And certainly it is not helpful to the president's chances of winning for Democrats to be talking about new spending now at a time when people are very concerned about debt and deficit. But as these folks continue to believe that their man is going to carry the day on November 6th, they probably want to get in line first.
I'm just wondering if there's always the risk when word like this leaks out that they look like they're, decorating the office before they're guaranteed they're going to have it, Katie. Now, if you're Barack Obama, you already have it. So what's to stop you from saying, I might look at that new rug or what have you? But you know what I mean, that there does seem to be a sense that you know, they are planning for a victory that might not happen. And if this gets out, then it could strike a lot of voters as, at the very least, arrogant.
Well, I think, too, that they're forgetting that President Obama isn't the only piece of the puzzle. If you still have a Republican House, which Republicans look like they're going to hold on to the House, and if Mitt Romney loses, well, look, Paul Ryan is still going to be the budget chairman. And so Democrats can line up all these big spending initiatives if they want to, but the fact is that the House is still going to be majority Republican. If Republicans don't take back the Senate, it's going to be the same situation that we've had for the past 2 years. And I would say, if they're going to go as far as trying, as you say, decorate the office before they have it, well, we might see another turnaround election in the year 2014 like we did in 2010 if they continue to push this big spending, big government.
Wait a minute, you're not giving up
forward.
on 2012, are you? It almost sounded like you were there.
Well, I'm just simply saying if they're going to go with decorating the office. See?
Okay, guys, thank you both very, very much.
Thank you.